Hello and welcome to the 40th season of football. Friday night, I'm Nate Wimberly, joined by Brandon Hamilton. A crazy week, too, of the high school football playoffs, thanks to Hurricane Nicole.
Yeah, and because of the weather, we had games last night, tonight, and tomorrow. But, don't worry. We have you covered with those highlights from Thursday and Friday. So let's start with tonight's action.
Yeah, we get this playoff party started with High Brighton at West Charlotte. For a quick minute, it looked like this would be a back-and-forth battle. West Charlotte scored first, and here comes High Brighton. A nice run here by Kobe Wilson. But a few plays later, the Panthers fumbled it going into the end zone. Oh, boy. West Charlotte, on the other hand, made the most of their chances. Cayman Fleming gets to the outside and an easy touchdown. Lines up 14-0. Second quarter, Sam Griner's squad kept it up. Katie Smith on the roll, hooks up with Javian Carr. He gets down to the 31-yard line. Very next play, Caleb Barringer on the sweep. Nice cutback right there, and he's in for 6 more. 21-0 West Charlotte. Coach Sam Mackey said, come on, guys, give me something. Panthers would finally get on the board as Wilson turns on the speed for the touchdown. But the Lions had an answer. It's going to be Smith to Fleming. A beautiful throw and an even better catch for another West Charlotte touchdown right before the half. Hey, those two would hook up for another score. 35-7 West Charlotte at the half, and the Lions advance to the third round of the 3A playoffs with a 56-7 win.
Nate, that is a big win right there. So West Charlotte will take on the winner of Smoky Mountain at Kings Mountain next Friday. So here's Kings Mountain running back Caleb Holland. He gets the handoff, and he will bounce it outside and run it in. Give them all 7 right there. Kings Mountain goes up 7-0. That's in the first quarter. Okay, so Smoky Mountain quarterback Jed West. He'll try to escape the pocket, but what a hit. That's Jason Melton.
Welcome to campus.
Laid the stick on him. All right, here's Smoky Mountain quarterback West. He'll throw again. That's picked off. Kings Mountain safety Jake Lloyd will get him one right there. That's a nice return on the pick, too. All right, so defense, they continue to dominate for Kings Mountain. West overthrows his receiver. Another Nate, give me that one right there, Zay Smith. All right, here's Lamont Littlejohn. He'll find Holland wide open, and he'll just pedal his way back into the end zone. Kings Mountain leads 21-0 in the second. Okay, so Littlejohn, another play. He's rolled out. That's wide receiver Jaqueline Sanders. If you want it, he'll get it. He breaks one tackle.
Oh, his own man took him out.
Down the sideline. That is a touchdown. Oh, Kings Mountain, this one, 42-0.
Wow, big win right there for Kings Mountain. In the 4A bracket, Butler at Mooresville. Here comes the Blue Devils. First quarter, Butler strikes first with his pass from Zach Lawrence to DeQuandre Currency. Butler is in front, 6-0. Now Mooresville comes right back. The handoff to Jawan Howell, and he breaks it 70 yards on the touchdown run. No one's going to catch him. Blue Devils up 7-6 after making the extra point. Second quarter, mostly defense early. Butler just before the half, the handoff to DJ Horton, and he breaks tackles and scores to give the Bulldogs the 13-7 halftime lead. Third quarter, Butler hands it off to Horton, and another run right here for him, and then he's going to do it again. They're just going to feed Horton on this drive, and he's going to get taken down on the 1-yard line, and I give you one guess who's going to finish the drive. Mr. Horton. Butler now leads 20-7. Fourth quarter, Butler extends that lead. It's Zach Lawrence to Peyton Scott, and watch this right here, fans.
That's how you do it.
Whoa! And then one for the end zone. Touchdown, Butler. And the Bulldogs going to win this one 41-21, but a great season there for Coach Joe Nixon and the Mooresville Blue Devils. They won the conference championship, but the season comes to an end tonight. Time to take our first break here on the show. When we come back, the FFN Game of the Week, Mallard Creek at Huff. Time now for the football Friday night game of the week, Mallard Creek at Huff.
Yeah, so this is a rematch from the regular season where Mallard Creek won 13-9. So the question that we all want to know, could the Mavericks do it again and head to the third round? Hold that question because Cam Gaskins joins us now with the highlights and that answer.
Yeah, guys, the Mavs won that first meeting last month thanks to 2 pick sixes on defense. So the Huskies trying to limit the self-inflicted wounds the second time around tonight. And thankfully, the rain holding off for the most part in Cornelius for this rematch between the Huskies and the Mavericks. And tonight, like the first matchup, also a low-scoring affair. First points of the night from the leg of Nolan Hauser. Good from 49. Look at the distance there. Would have been good from 59. Kid hit a 65-yarder in warm-ups. Yeah, that leg is for real. Still 3-0 in the second quarter. Tad Hudson to Zaquan Osborne on the slant. He crosses the plane, gives the Huskies a 10-0 advantage. Mallard Creek's defense, though, would make a couple of plays. Here's DJ Hamilton coming down with an INT across the middle. Unfortunately, doesn't lead to any Maverick points, but in the third quarter, Hamilton gets it done on offense. A gorgeous deep ball from Justin Wheeler. That gives Mallard Creek its first points of the night, down 10-6 after the missed extra point. It's 13-6 in the fourth quarter. Mallard Creek trying to tie the game, and here's Hamilton again with the big-time catch over 2 defenders. Mavs getting into the red zone. They would have a 4th and goal from the 5-yard line, but Wheeler's pass is high and out of the back of the end zone, and that would do it for this game. Let's check out the football Friday night scoreboard from our game of the week. Huff wins this conference rematch. They take down the Mavericks 16-6, and the Huskies are on to the third round to face the winner of East Forsyth and Mount Tabor. That game pushed back to tomorrow afternoon.
Yeah, that was. You beat me to it. I was gonna say that, but you know,
sorry to step on your toes there.
Look, this happens every year with this Queen City Conference. You know, you always have Chambers, Mallard Creek, and Huff playing each other in either the second or the third round. Second round this time for this game, and it almost seems like all the time, the team that lost in the regular season always wins in the playoffs.
They learn something.
They learn something. It's hard to beat a good team twice in a season.
And you look at Huff's defense, what they've done since that game. They didn't give up any points that game. Again, the 2 pick sixes.
Yep.
They have allowed 13 total points in the last 4 games combined, 2 shutouts included in that span. I would not want to face that Huff defense if I'm in the playoffs right now.
Yeah, we've reached halftime here on Football Friday Night. Still a lot more to come. To join us on the second half of the show, go to WBTV.com/live. We'll see you in a few minutes for the second half of Football Friday Night.
See you.
Let's go back to last night's action in the 3A bracket. South Point at Greensboro Dudley, and what a game for the Red Raiders. First drive for Dudley. Aiden Ramirez says, give me that. Pick 6. But Dudley would score the next 3 touchdowns to grab a commanding lead, but South Point exploded offensively. Before last night, Dudley had only given up 63 points as a team in 11 games. They had only given up 63 points. Ladies and gentlemen, South Point scored 74 points last night in a 74-41 win. The Red Raiders scored 6 touchdowns in the second half alone. Unbelievable.
Yeah, Nate, I'm still looking at that 74. All right, also last night, Cox Mill at Weddington in the 4A bracket. First quarter, here come the Warriors. They'll have the ball near the goal line and it's third down. Tyler Budge hands the ball off to James Colonna, but he gets taken down by DeZonte Brooks. They lose some yards, and it's fourth down. All right, that forces a field goal as the Warriors take the lead 3-0. 4 minutes left in the quarter. All right, so we're on to the second. Warriors ball when Budge will throw this one to Zymil Patterson, who makes the catch. That's going to be a first down to the 15-yard line. Okay, so it leads to this. Budge, why not? Keeps the ball himself, takes it up the middle and give it to him. That is a touchdown, 10-0 in that one. The final will end up being Weddington wins it all, 30-0.
We had one more game from last night in the elements, and despite the weather, it was a big night for the Big I. Let's get to the highlights. Independence hosting Olympics on Thursday night playoff action in Mint Hill. Patriots already up 7-0 in the first quarter. Might as well make it 14-0. Sincere McIntyre bounces off a tackle and beats everybody down the sideline to the end zone. A lot of ground and pound with the rain last night. Next drive, this time it's going to be quarterback Justin Little. He keeps on the option, and it was the right option. Lots of green grass as he houses this one as well. The Patriots running wild and free, now up 21-0. And they would add on plenty more in this one. Emmanuel T makes it 27-0 well before the half. And the Patriots are on to the third round for the first time since 2009. They handle the Trojans 55-6. They get the winner of Grimsley and Charlotte Catholic tomorrow.
We need to take our final break here on the show. When we come back, the play of the week, and we get you ready for week 3 of the playoffs.
WBTV's First Alert Radar Network now has exclusive live X-band radar data. No one else in town has this kind of technology or this clear of a view. 10 times the resolution of the standard radars that are shooting into the Charlotte metro area. Our new radar is going to allow us to drill down into your neighborhood, your street, and give you as much advance notice as we can possibly give. I think this new radar fits right in with our First Alert promise, giving you advance notice of changing weather.
Where you get your local news matters.
The vote was unanimous.
That's only please telling me today.
Got a cold front on the way. Every night, WBTV News at 11 brings you the top stories of the day and what's ahead, helping you make sense of the headlines, giving you the insight and understanding you need to make the best decisions for your family. Our deep community connections and relationships with local leaders bring more to the stories that impact you. Join us for a better understanding. Watch WBTV News at 11.
She may not feel it yet, but she's got this. You've kept up with all the changes, the added safety measures. You've even read every email the school sent all summer long. Well, most of them. But you've also watched WBTV News this morning to stay on top of it all. And you got her here. And now, she sees it. Thanks for always being on her side and for trusting us to be on yours.
All right, welcome back. The play of the week is Butler at Mooresville. His Butler's Peyton Scott. He would not be denied on his way to the end zone, running over defenders. All right, you got to take another look at this. I mean, my God.
I don't mean to laugh, but.
Got the catch.
Oh, my gosh.
Get off me. I'm going to get this one. Get off me.
The receivers are so much bigger these days. You got to make a business decision at some
The second
point.
one was disrespectful. He was already in the end zone. You didn't have to do
Well,
it to
the
him
DB
like that.
don't go at him.
It's point blank period. I mean, it was already a good play to begin with. A good fake, and he got past the corner, and it was all that one. All right, Butler would win this one again, 41-21. They advance to round number 3.
who they will play in round number 3. We do not. Actually, yes, we do. They'll play AC Reynolds next Friday night. South of the border, before we get to next week, let's clean up tonight. South of the border, defending 4A state champ South Point fell to Greenville by 4. They will host Catawba Ridge next Friday as the Copperheads beat North Augusta tonight. Westside gets the game-winning touchdown with 3 seconds left to beat Indian Land, so a tough loss there for the Warriors. They will take on the winner of Northwestern and Greenville. Those two teams will play tomorrow down at District 3 Stadium in Rock Hill. North Carolina Private Schools Division I, Charlotte Christian beats Rabun Gap tonight by 2. Some revenge for the Knights as they lost to Rabun Gap in the regular season. Who will Christian play in next Friday's state championship game? They will take on the winner of Christ School and Providence Day. Those two will play tomorrow to decide who will play for the Division I state championship. Now, next week, Drone in the third round of playoffs. Drone. Once again, I have to apologize to Drone. You know, in the 1A bracket, I said, hey, there was not a good 1A team in our area. Well, Drone said, oh, my drink. They will take on Thomasville. Thomasville is a traditional power, so going to be a very tough game for Drone, but right now the Wildcats are playing some good football. Cam, Bunker Hill at Maiden. Woo! Go. Rematch of the regular season won by Maiden 36-33. Go, because you talked about wanting to see this game again.
Well, yeah, Bunker Hill hasn't beaten Maiden since 1989. You get a second crack at it. That's kind of been a theme of the playoffs. So excited to see this rematch next week.
Yeah, back on that other board, Salisbury at Burns. Big offenses versus stingy defenses on both sides. Salisbury this year, offensively, they've scored 499 points. They've only given up 132. Burns has scored 449. They've only given up 113. So the clock operator might have to work some extra overtime next week, keeping tally of that score. Monroe at East Surrey. It's a rematch from last year's playoff. East Surrey won 10-6 up at Pilot Mountain, up in Pilot Mountain, that is. So Monroe going back, hoping to get a different result this time and keep their dreams of a state championship alive. West Charlotte in the 3A at Kings Mountain, another playoff rematch. Kings Mountain beat West Charlotte last year 27-17 to end the Lions season. And now we see those boards right there. Crest at South Point, rematch from the regular season, won by South Point 35-13. And I talked about this before the season or the playoffs even started. We always have that one team that, you know, you just don't expect, but really you kind of could expect this. Lefford at East Lincoln. Lefford went to Northwestern Parish yesterday and won. Lefford is 11-1. They're a 12 seed at 11-1. Yeah, okay. East Lincoln is 12-0. They have the home field advantage next week, but watch out for those Ledford Panthers because they're a good team. And, of course, I just talked about it, Butler in the 4A. They'll be taking on AC Reynolds next week. Also, we got Saturday football because that 4A bracket is still not completely made up because you got Northwest Guilford at Watauga tomorrow. That winner will take on Weddington next Friday. Of course, we talked about Mount Tabor and East Forsyth. They'll play tomorrow. That winner will take on Huff. And then Catholic and Grimsley. They'll play tomorrow, and the winner of that one will take on the Independence Patriots. So still a lot to decide for these playoffs. We're week number 3, though.
That's a lot.
Of the playoffs.
That's a lot to go through. And the thing with that Charlotte Catholic game, if Charlotte Catholic wins, Independence hosts that game. And we know what happened last time Charlotte Catholic went to Independence. It's becoming a running theme of these playoffs. Teams getting that second chance to get a little revenge and get some payback. We saw how heartbreaking of a loss that was. DJ McFadden wanted that game back. Now he might have a chance to get it back. We'll see how that game goes, obviously. But Independence, again, we mentioned earlier, first time in the third round since 2009. Nate, you called it back in like week 5, I believe, that the Big I is back, and it's kind of hard to dispute that now. Yes,
they are back. They're playing some good football. Before we get out of here, I want to make a couple of points. Cox Mill, they lost yesterday to Weddington. 30-0, I believe, but a great season for Cox Mill. They went 9-3, the most wins in a single season in the program's history. Their first playoff win in 8 years, and they did it at the 4A level. That's a traditional 3A power, so a great season for Cox Mill. And one of the friends of Football Friday Night for a very long time, who went on, and he's now coaching outside of our area, but Adrian Snow, he's the current coach at West Forsyth. He's decided to step down after 15 years, so he's going to step down for West Forsyth. Turned that program around, has gotten them going in the right direction. He used to coach at Watauga, and most of us know him from those days. he had some great teams at Watauga with Eric Breitenstein. They made a couple of runs to the regional final. They lost in one regional final to West Charlotte when they were 4A. Still is 4A. But congratulations, Coach Snow, man. One of the good guys in the coaching business. He's not done. He just decided to step down. He had some health problems earlier this year, but best of luck, Coach Snow. If we see you on another sideline coaching another team, I wouldn't be surprised. Hey, come on back to the area. I think you still got some good years left in you, Coach. That's it for Football Friday night. Week number 3 is coming up next week. Week number 3 of the playoffs is coming up next week. And it's this time of the night where I poke a little bit at the Carolina Panthers, but
you can't.
You can't. They won yesterday 25-15 to snap the 2-game losing streak. So congratulations to the Carolina Panthers. They get a 9-day break before they take on Baltimore. Enjoy it, because the Ravens is coming. But hey, they played well last night in some bad conditions. And kudos to everybody who played the last 2 nights in some terrible conditions. Congratulations to those who won. Tough losses for those who didn't. It's basketball season, but thank you guys who their seasons and their careers are over. Thank you for all you've done, your hard work, dedication, and making it, Football Friday nights so special and being such stars on this show right here. That's all the time we have for Football Friday night. We'll see you next week for round 3 of the high school playoffs and a Football Friday night.